Hey there, freaking awesome people, Winnie here from Mind Now, and welcome back to Inspirational Mind, where we break down channels, interview people to gain their perspective on how you can master your mind to gain self-confidence and self-esteem, especially as an introvert. But hey, don't shy away if you're an extrovert, because the world needs you. And today we have a special guest. It is Bahman from your favorite life coach. It is my favorite life coach, everyone's favorite life coach. How you doing, bro?
Thanks, man. I'm so happy to be here. I mean, this is my first kind of an interview podcast thing, but I have to say this is my best intro so far, so you've been doing great.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. It is
Thanks,
nice.
I'm so happy to be here, man. Thank you for your invitation, and I mean, we're gonna have a good talk.
Yeah, definitely, bro. I'm always happy to like connect with more people, in the self-development field, and it doesn't even matter if you're in the self-development field, If I find you cool, then you're on my show. That's how it goes. All right. So, as you know, my first question and my favorite question is, how do you gain self-confidence and belief in yourself?
That's a pretty tricky one to start off with, but I like it. Self-confidence is really hard for me. I've struggled with it for a long time. It honestly took me up until like 6 months ago to really start something that I was being held back from my environment, from my friends, from my family. I felt like their judgment would be too hard on me to resist. So I never really jumped into YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or whatever kind of creative process, because it always felt like, you should get a real job, man. You're 25, 26. Just start doing something real, man. You're old enough. See, everybody's figuring life out. And that little thing that always really hurt me. So it took me a long time, and I think it honestly, it took my fiance mostly. It took her really building me up from nothing, to be honest. I was really a kid for a long time, in every sense of the word. I was really young. I was really reckless. I was living day by day, and that basically never helps your self-confidence, right? If you never build anything up, you never experience great success, you never realize that you're capable of doing anything remotely successful. So when you have someone behind your back, that really helps. And now I've honestly started to like when you start to learn walking by yourself, sometimes your parents let go of your hand and you have to go by yourself. Well, that's basically my process right now. I go through these phases of extreme. When I see some comments or when I see some things on YouTube, I get so sad sometimes and I get angry. I'm like, what I have to do with these emotions and how can I stay steady? It's hard, man. But it's really, for me, it's about the vision, and I have to be honest, that vision was planted inside my head by a couple good friends, a mentor, and mostly my fiance, to be honest.
Wow, that's really interesting. So you're actually in the process of building like the self-confidence, right? All right. So you said that your fiance was like a very big part of this self-confidence building up. And I'm really happy for you that you have someone who's like on your side and who's like helping you to do that, and who's actually sharing your vision, who's like supporting. And I think that is like very important, like it doesn't matter whether it's your fiance or friends. It's like if you have just someone who's like standing by your side, that helps like so much, because like you said, I guess you have like some friends who don't really share your vision, and they might be like, hey, what the hell are you doing, bro? And like if you only like surround yourself with those people, you'll just like doubt yourself, right? So I really think that surrounding yourself with the right people, which you have, and I'm really grateful for the fact that you do, is really, really important. And I'm really happy for you, and I'm going to follow your journey until like you're like the boss of the confidence, bro. So
likewise, man, likewise. Yeah, I mean, I think it's all about being real, right? I could never get on YouTube, and that's why I think for me, I haven't done a confidence video yet, because it's so hard for me to talk about it, because I've been struggling with it for so long, and I'm still struggling with it. I might seem confident on the videos, but I mean, my fiance knows, she's my partner in crime on YouTube. I filmed the video and I delete it. Sometimes I just, at 2 or 3 a.m. I just film another one because I don't feel like it. I don't feel it was good enough. Or then I make a thumbnail and I'm like, is it good? Is it gonna work? Is it gonna connect with people? Or maybe people gonna think I'm clickbaity. Or I take things really personal because this means a lot to me. And I think it's basically a paradox, right? You do something you care a lot about and you kind of want to be resilient against feedback and against people talking about it. But I mean, you care a lot about it. So how can you completely not care about other people's opinions? You want that, you want that connection, but at the same time, it hurts you when they give it to you. You know, it's kind of it's a tough, as a creator, it's really tough. I mean, you can probably relate to it, that there's a lot of bad with the good coming in from, all kinds of areas, and even family and close friends who, yeah, that's why I said on my yesterday's video, I said, and I really stand by it, that you should never ever take any creative advice from your family or friends. It can really wreck your confidence, man. It can really hurt.
Yeah, dude, I respect you for like sharing all of this, man. It's like you're being very authentic and honest, and you're like, I like, imagine you weren't like self-confident, and then you say, hey, I am the most self-confident person, and that's just fake. And I really appreciate the fact that you're being really honest. So yeah, I'm not like 100% self-confident either. That's why I'm like interviewing a lot of people here and gaining their perspective. But yeah, going back to what you just said there with friends and unsupportive family, and it is hard because family, they're like kind of they're our loved ones, right? They raised us and everything, and when they say something against it, it's hard. It's really hard. And so what actually made you decide to do YouTube?
I was on vacation in Thailand, and
oh, that's where I come from.
Awesome, man. You have an amazing country. I went twice. I'm hoping to come back this year. I mean, honestly, Thailand, just a small bit about Thailand. Thailand changed my life in so many ways you can't even imagine. Like the spirituality on that level, and the people, and the country, and the way they maneuver through life, through that chaos, and it's so amazing. Like you really have to experience it. And Bangkok is my favorite. I went to the islands. I'm cool. I like it, but I like that craziness from Bangkok. Like it's awesome. But I was there, and kind of a lot of emotions were coming over me. I've went through a pretty rough time. I was depressed. I was homeless. I lost a couple family members. I've been through a couple rough patches. So I went to Thailand, and that was basically a first moment in my life where I felt like, I think I'm finally building up something in my life, right? My first real holiday with my fiance. I had plans, and I asked her to marry me in Thailand. So it was a lot of things happening emotionally in my life, which were kind of shaking me up, and also I was starting to think about shaping my future. And I had a full-time job. I coach young people from 16 to 28, and I love to do that. I do that with all the love in my heart, but I always have been working on something of my own project, something that's personal, creative, but I never really got anything to stick. So I was working, I was kind of accepting that maybe this is what it is. I go to work, I come home, I eat, I chill out, watch Netflix, and I go to bed. And then that entire Thailand experience, what made me really vulnerable was that I could not accept that was it. So I thought about, what is it that I could do? What is it that could help me find out what's gonna make me happy? And I talked to it with my fiance a lot, like the entire day. And eventually we just came at, and what's the most authentic thing right now in your life? You've been talking about this journey. You've been talking about the questions you have. You've been talking about all the things you're struggling with. Why not put that out? I mean, that's your product, right? That's what you are. You're really good at making people vulnerable around you. You're really good at opening up so much that people around you start opening up with you. You know, this is kind of a quality she saw within me, and I'm like, yeah, I guess that's true. And I thought about how I could share that with people, how I could share my journey and my questions and my self-doubt and all the things I was struggling with. And I was like, video, man. I mean, I always loved video. I studied camera work. I do a lot with video at work too. I do some vlogging with the kids, you know, coach them. And so, yeah, I kind of got back to my roots, honestly. I was a young kid, really interested in film and video and writing. And it kind of stuck. I did one video. I was sick. I hate that video, Break the Pattern. I wish I could delete it, but it got too many views. And then, but I hate that video so much because I was sick. I had the flu, but I was like, if I'm not gonna do it as I promised myself the day when I got back to Holland, I knew I was never gonna do it because I doubt myself so much. I started up so much different ideas and projects. I would never finish anything. So I was like, I'm gonna do this the day when I come back. And of course I got back, it was cold as hell, it was raining, and I got sick, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. F it.
Bro, it turned out well, man. So, you know, I mean, of course, you might say like, oh man, why did I make that? But, you know, at the end, it turned out well, you know, because of that one video. Look at you now, bro. And so, yeah. But one thing that I'm like really curious, because you keep on saying that you doubt yourself. And why is that?
I think I come from a family who's extremely successful at college and university and studying, real studying family. My mom and my brother and sister, all of them did university. They did extremely well. They were very successful, and they're still successful right now. And I was basically the one kid who kind of messed up everything that school offered me. Like I got a lot of opportunities at school, and I really regret that I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't focused. I had ADD. I could never focus on anything longer than a couple seconds. So I really regret that. I should have maybe done a little bit more with my education, but it wasn't meant for me at that time. And I think that really helped, always getting that reaffirming of you never did school that well, and you gotta work, and you won't make or 3, 4, 5,000 euros a month, and you have to, like, you know, you're not gonna get a mortgage that easy. And that was what some messages from my parents that were implanted in me real young, you know. And when you get that, a lot of the times it kind of sticks with you. And I think it started there, where I felt like I was never going to be enough to make my parents happy. And I understand, because as a parents, you know, as refugees, you want your kids to do everything they can with this opportunity you're giving them, because you're giving up everything, your entire life, just for your kids. And now you got 2 kids who did well. Now you got the youngest kid. You're like, well, you grew up here. All you know is Holland. All you know is freedom. You haven't seen war. You haven't seen blood. You haven't seen all this chaos. You better do it twice as hard as your brother and sister, because I mean, you got all the opportunities, right? And I kind of proved them wrong, so I messed up everything I could. Eventually, I mean, I think I ended up all right, but I think it started at that age where, there was basically, you're privileged, so you better do that.
Yeah, man. Wow. A very interesting story, man. And you know, the thing about regret, here's the thing, man. Like, you know, when people say I regret doing this and I regret doing that, and you know, here's how I see it. Like, if there's a time machine and you could go back at that, you know, time, you would make exactly the same decision. Why? Because you didn't have the wisdom, you didn't have those experiences that you have now, you know. So that's why I always say, like, never regret. And I know it's easier said than done, obviously, but if you really think about it, you would do exactly the same thing, because you didn't go through that, right? You didn't have the wisdom that you have right now, and you know, all of that made you who you are today. So that's why it should be a blessing rather than, saying regret. And I always like think of what Lao Tzu says, like, just take responsibility for everything. And Tony Robbins also says, your worst day can become your best day. And that might have been your worst day. I don't know, but it shaped you to who you are today, and that is freaking awesome in my opinion. And I'm really, really grateful for like being really honest with me and sharing with me all of this stuff, man. Because I did watch like some of your videos, and I love your authenticity, and you actually said about those things, that your family and with your friends, and they weren't really supportive of your ideas and all of that, but now you pushed through and now you're doing it, and so that is really awesome. So do you think that you're still doubting yourself, and are you still like pushing through that, or where are you at right now?
Yeah, every single day basically. I always doubt every decision I make. I almost dropped the F-bomb there. I want to get you in trouble with YouTube. Sorry, I'm drinking ginger tea. I'm a bit sick. Holland is messed up, man. It gets cold and warm. Yeah.
I thought it's hurting a bit too, but yeah.
Yeah, I doubt myself every single day. There's not a moment where I don't. I mean, I obsessed with the views and the statistics and analytics on YouTube. I'm obsessed with likes and followers on Instagram. I'm obsessed with Facebook, and why I can't seem to really crack the code on Facebook. It's a rough platform to really get some traction on. I just started Tumblr, which is kind of opening up another can of worms, where I'm kind of digging in and trying to find out how it's really working. So yeah, but for me, what's really helping is my friend, I won't say his name, he doesn't like to be public, but a big Instagram guy told me, I think the thing that's going to help you right now in the process where I was then, I was really starting to burn out. I was really tired, and I told him I'm really thinking about, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm thinking about, because I'm so tired. I was doing Instagram 6, 7, 8 hours a day. I was doing YouTube 4, 5 hours a day. I was working full time. I was sleeping like 3 hours a day. I was really destroying myself. So he told me, you know what, bro, what do you love doing most? And I said, well, YouTube. I'm just doing Instagram to get the views to YouTube. That's it. There's no other. And he said, well, just do YouTube, man. F it. Just whatever. Focus on whatever you love most, and eventually life will fall into place. Just focus on that one thing. And when you see your progression there, and when you see that growth, you will gain that peace of mind back, which you have lost right now because you're only focusing a little bit here and a little bit there, and you're progressing a little bit on Instagram and a little bit on Twitter, and you just need to get that YouTube straight first. Find your peace of mind, find your comfort zone on YouTube. Try to get out a video every single day, and when you get that for a couple of weeks, come back to Instagram, But when you come back, talk to me, and we'll see that if you're really killing YouTube first. Don't just, don't go really master something before you jump over to other things. And it really helped me, because I kind of let go of so much pressure. I wanted to kill every social media platform. I mean, I hate that Jay Shetty guy, man. Jesus, I could kill Jay Shetty if I could. That guy's killing every platform. I'm like, dude, how are you killing so many platforms at the same time? And I'm like, all right, okay, perspective. This guy's a team, probably, 4 or 5 people working at the same. But it kind of messes me up sometimes. I see Gary Vee posting so much, and he's on Instagram lying to the people saying, yeah, I post everything myself. Yeah, of course, you might post it, but you're not editing it, you're not making thumbnails, So that's perspective helped me a lot there. But yeah, I fall into the trap sometimes of thinking I'm lesser than all those creators, because, starting off, you just don't have the tools. So you can't judge yourself.
So what helps you get out of that, man?
I think mostly it's really tough to get out of it, honestly. I really fall into it a lot. So I don't know. I don't know how I get out of it. I know that when I really work on YouTube, like really work on it, not just inside my head, but when I'm filming, editing, making thumbnails, uploading it, those are the times where I completely forget everything in my life. Like everything around me, my whole house can burn down. But when I'm editing that video, I'm gonna get that on YouTube. Trust me. I don't care how, but I'm gonna get it. And that's something that working on YouTube for real. Like I'm a real ADD guy. I need to work. I need to be doing things, or else I start thinking. So I fall into a lot of traps all day. But when I keep myself busy, either on Instagram or YouTube, I know that when I focus on my passion, like really doing it, like people sometimes say I'm doing this for, like, are you really doing it? That's what I ask them a lot. Like, are you really doing it, or just thinking about it, or are you just planning, or are you just making ideas or writing down things? Like really doing for me is filming, editing, getting your hands dirty. That's what really helped me. I always tell my friends who are sometimes on the fence of starting YouTube. I have a lot of big crypto guys in Asia and Australia who want to get in YouTube, and I tell them, dude, do it right now, right this second. Don't even wait a minute. Get your phone, upload something. You'll see. You'll get that shot of YouTube. You'll get hooked real quick.
Yeah, man. But like you said, it's at the end, it's all about doing. It's all about, taking action. You can plan, you can have your ideas, but if you don't, make that into reality, those ideas won't matter, right? And like you said, with YouTube, it's just taking your phone out or camera, whatever, and press record, edit, and upload. And yeah, man.
Do it.
Yeah, exactly. But dude, I guess like with you, what has helped you the most, what I have heard and gathered from your information, what you've given me here is, your fiance and having like supportive friends, and if you were like totally alone, I think that would be like really hard and difficult as well, right?
Really tough,
yeah, and I mean, with YouTube and everything what you do, you will always have haters. That can't be avoided and prevented. It's just how it is. That is how life works. Like, there's nobody on this planet that's loved by everyone, unfortunately. And so it will hurt, but that is, if it's really important, and I guess for you, YouTube is important for me as well, just sharing our message to the world and making videos. I love making videos as well. So that is that. So how do you actually deal with haters?
Man, the thing is, I always do this. I write back this snarky response to just completely kill them, to burn them in the comments. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna post it. I just told my fiance, I wrote down this, like a guy told me I was clickbaiting. And I was like, dude, bro, you know what clickbaiting is? I mean, like big companies writing no added sugar on packages and poisoning people with products and chemicals and putting things inside your body and putting happy pictures of families on. Like, you're really gonna pick your battle with a YouTuber? Yeah, while we're out here with big brands of poisoning people with these happy families and pushing all these candy and sugar and fats to people, killing people every single day. I'm like, the big comment, like long comment, just completely going in on them with facts and research. And I'm like, never mind. I'm not gonna do it. Because I get so upset, and when I get upset, I just leave it. When I feel like my motivation is anger and I want to get back to someone, I don't do it. But when I honestly feel like someone is just wrong and I could maybe give him some insight, or maybe in some way the thing that someone is saying is, just taken because he misunderstood something I said, or maybe didn't really watch the entire video, or then I'll get into it real honest, because I think like every moment, and that's what I learned I worked a long time in sales, and I had an amazing mentor in sales, and he told me every time a customer complains, he's giving you a stage to show yourself for a second time that you can really help him. And I see a complaint or hate or a bad comment really as a second chance, because that person took the time to say something to you. He could just go on with his life. He could just ignore you. He could just say, whatever, this guy's an idiot. I'm off to another video. Watch PewDiePie, whatever. Subscribe to PewDiePie, by the way. That guy just, he he left something there, and you can talk to him now. He opened up a dialogue with you. You should be thankful. And usually when you get back to him, he comes back either with hate, or maybe, he revises his comment, whatever. It's both fine, but it's a view. You got another view. And maybe I got some subscribers out of my haters sometimes. Not a lot, but I mean, everyone counts, I think. And it's also a place where, I don't know if you read a lot of comments. I read a lot of comments under the videos. When I see a creator comment respectfully and really insightful and cool to a hater, I'm like, that's a cool creator. I like that guy. So it's also a stage where you can really show yourself. It's another, it's like another place. Like you have the video, you have the description, you have the tags, and you have the comments. Like there's another place for you to show your talents, show you, to communicate your art. And I feel like defending your statements is just as important as just putting out the video. YouTubers usually, I wouldn't say usually, but a lot of YouTubers just put out the video and just sit back and like, okay, I did it, I put it out. It's out of my hands now, whatever. You guys fight with each other in the comments. But you can't do that. You put it out, like you gotta take some accountability for it. Like if like I took my accountability on a Michael Jackson video. I should have maybe made my point more clear. And I got 60 dislikes. People went crazy, cursing each other and yelling at each other in the comments. I was like, all right, I didn't want that to happen. So I take my responsibility, and I got a lot of hate on that video. And I responded on every single one of them because I'm like, all right, I got to take that heat. I was man enough to put it up. Then I got, you got to be man enough to take it. But of course, you got Tumblr, Reddit. People are crazy sometimes, definitely.
People are crazy. That reminds me of Chris Tucker from Rush Hour. Oh man, but
really are. People sometimes are really disgusting, and I'm like, dude, that's just too far. Why are you even getting there? Like, how could you? But I understand it's a reflection of their own insecurities. It's a reflection of their own hate, of their own suffering sometimes. I used to be a hater on YouTube. I'll be honest. I'll say it on your podcast right now. I used to be a YouTube hater. Sometimes I watch a video, I'm like, this dude, but I was depressed myself. So I understand I was depressed, I was miserable, and I wanted people to feel a little bit of that at least. Like, I don't know, just sharing your pain is so humane, I think, So
a personal question, how did you actually get out of your depression?
I made a video on that. I did a video on that, whatever depression video, you check it on my channel. It was really, honestly, the thing that pulled me out was helping other people. I got an internship at the place I'm working right now. It's a foundation that coaches young people. And when I discovered that I could mean something to people, and that just these small gestures of helping and supporting and just even listening sometimes is helping a lot. When I felt, of value to someone, that just boosted my confidence through the roof. Like it made me feel so special. It made me feel so amazing that someone even cares about me in some way. And then I'd listen to him a little bit more, and I'd talk to him a little bit more. Sometimes just taking them, doing groceries with them, or helping them, with their finances or whatever. Just small things that everybody could do for them. That would just build a relationship between me and them, and sometimes just waking up and checking my phone and seeing this kid saying, hey, you up, you coming to work, just that just meant so much to me. And every day I always give him my private number. I want him to to keep me grounded. I love that when they call me at 1 a.m. and they whatever, playing Fortnite or something. I don't care. I really love that connection, and I need it. I'm a guy that's like everybody would tell you, I love to be alone. Like I enjoy my alone time so much. I could, like, if you leave me alone, I will play Assassin's Creed for 4 days straight and not get out my house, not 1 second, for nothing. Like I would order food every day. I lived like that for a long time, and at the same time, that's what put me into depression. So I got out of it by just really forcing myself to get in contact with people because they were relying on me. And then I'd care more about the people than myself. So yeah, you'll get out of there. I mean, if you have someone really you care more about than yourself, you can do some amazing things.
Wow, man. I mean, I also love my alone time very much. I'm more like, I'm like 70% introvert and 30% extrovert, so I need my alone time. And I can spend alone like, it's just some people can, some people can, but but like you said, you kind of need this, time with people as well from time to time. If you just spend time alone the entire time, then there's something lacking, right? I mean, maybe there is someone who does it, but I think it's even scientifically proven that you kind of need to get in touch with people as well, right? And so that is awesome that you found this meaning in your life, right? Contributing to others, and that kind of gives you the energy. Yeah, and talking about energy, do you have like kind of morning or evening routine?
I'm all over the place, man. Sometimes I wake up and I meditate. Sometimes I wake up, I get straight on my phone. Sometimes I wake up and I hug my fiance. Sometimes I wake up, I feel disgusted. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to wake up. Sometimes I wake up, I'm like, yeah, man, let's go and kill it today. I'm all over the place. I try to, find a certain structure that works for me. It's just so hard for me to really stick to something because, yeah, I don't know. I think the ADD helps with that. I think to be really all over the place, to not really have a straight order and structure and be organized in whatever you're trying to do. I really thrive on stress. Like I do really good when I'm stressed out. I make great decisions. I'm calculated. I can go on for 20, 30, 40 hours straight. When I'm really under a lot of pressure, I can really... I do a lot of great stuff, so that's kind of a contradiction, right?
I mean, whatever works for you,
Yeah.
that's the amazing thing about this.
I know it does. I know it's bad for me, but I work so well when I'm under pressure. I guess it's kind of how I've got used to working. When I was 16, I got homeless and I went kind of down this spiral of surviving, and so I understand that it's kind of my. I did this test at work. It was an amazing test called the Berkman test. I don't know if you know it. You should go and check it out. I think it's a German scientist or doctor who made it up. He's not saying you have weaknesses or you have strengths, but when you do his personality test, you come out with things that gives you energy and things that gives you stress, and also things you were conditioned to do and things you were born to do. So you're kind of born from your DNA and your character and the person you are basically from your foundation. You're not the type of guy to really deal with stress that well, but you're conditioned to deal with stress. So you kind of always lean towards giving yourself stress. And that's kind of the position where I'm in right now. I'm really learning a lot about myself with that Berkman as well. But I'm yet to find a real structure. But I thought about getting a dog or something to just, get me up, get me in a good mood in the morning. But yeah, what's your morning structure? Like, do you have one?
Yeah, so I like wake up and then I actually go to gym, exercise or dancing, and then I meditate, take like a Scottish shower, so first warm and then at the end cold to wake myself up. Then I educate myself a bit, but I'm not like every day. I'm trying to get into that, like where I do this every single day. So I'm trying to build that as a habit, but I'm going to admit I'm not that disciplined yet, but I'm gonna get to there. But I just think for me, like two things really are really important, which is sleep, like getting enough sleep, and morning routine. These are two things that I just need to get like the day, that I function right throughout the day, and I don't feel like, oh, what the hell, where am I, what the hell am I doing? So I want to feel like good. I want to be mindful. I actually recently I said I'm going to quit alcohol for 1 year, so that is done. And also I just like last week. Yeah, so it's very new.
It was no, it's fresh.
Yeah, exactly, very fresh. I'm not an alcoholic or anything, but I just had a bad experience, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to challenge myself. I'm not going to drink any alcohol. So
Your ass, right? It kicked your ass. Me too. I got the same treatment. It really messed me up. But I don't drink a lot. I'm the same. I drink like 4 times a year. But when it really hits you bad, you're like, it's not worth it.
I'm like, once I drink, I just can't stop. I like drink until I'm drunk, like really drunk, and then yeah. So I was like, you know what? I want to be a guy who just relies on myself to be happy. You know, I don't want to rely on any substances. I also say I'm gonna quit weed forever, even though I do that maybe twice a year or something. So very rarely. But still, I was like, I want to be a guy also because it's all about your mind, right? If you like really know how to get control of it, then you can be a happy person. It might take some time, obviously. You know, it's something where you constantly have to train yourself, but that's the guy that I want to become. So yeah, that is all about me.
What do you think about this weed talk, man? Because I watched Joe Rogan, and he seems to be a real big fan of weed and DMT and all this hallucinogenic stuff, and he's really been promoting it. And I've seen like a big surge of drug use, of being okay, or maybe even good. You know, like it's even being promoted as a good thing to do, like you're missing out if you're not doing DMT or ayahuasca, or I don't know what all the crazy stuff is, but I mean, weed got me messed up when I was younger, man. So paranoid, so messed up. It got me so deep into my depression. I felt like I was never getting out of it. I got it under control. I'm like, just like you. I'm just for relaxing or maybe whatever, like 2 times a year or something. But man, it destroyed me, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, at the end of the day, it really depends on the person itself, how it affects that person. It affects everyone differently. And me, I always, when I smoke, like I need 2 weeks until I'm straight again. Always, like, and I was like, you know what, why? Like, these 2 weeks I could be doing something else. I just don't want this recovery phase, and for some people they're just fine. So again, if it works for you, awesome. If it doesn't, then don't do it. That's you gotta be like analytical. I just guess at the end you just gotta be self-aware. Gary Vee always like says that, and I really resonate with that. And if you really know yourself as what makes you like, what motivates you, what makes you happy, what is actually distracting you, and all of that, if you can figure that out, and you won't figure that out in one day, obviously. That's why you just gotta enjoy the process, so to speak. And yeah, so that is my take on drugs and life in general, so to speak.
I like it.
So what did you actually, how did you figure out what you wanted to do in life?
I was just trying to make a video on that this week. I was really trying to. I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it because I feel like there are a lot of cheat codes out on YouTube and a lot of quick fixes and 7 steps to whatever, blah blah blah. I feel like I did a video maybe like 2 days ago on it, but I felt like there was something missing because it's not that complicated, at least not for me. It was really just keep working. Just I've seen a lot of people just make a couple good steps towards finding their real passion, like what they really want, getting out of that comfort zone, into that pain zone, that embarrassment zone where people start judging you, where they start thinking about you, or maybe start even really talking bad about your decisions and making you doubt yourself. That's the zone where I always put myself in, honestly. I always put myself in getting ridiculed, getting insulted, getting like, this guy's gonna stop. I mean, I try to promote parties. I had my own company. I started some investing. I was a professional online poker player. I did fine, I think. I did some crazy Bitcoin stuff. I mean, I did so much, and I really started to appreciate failing at all those things just 6 months ago, really. I mean, I'm taking my poker experience and all the in all the analytics of YouTube. I'm taking my communications where I failed in the world of sales. I'm taking all my film techniques where I failed at film school. I'm taking all my experiences where I've seen so many different people in so many different worlds, and putting them out in all these variations of videos. I'm taking away my curiosity. I learned from just getting into new endeavors every time and just messing it up and getting to another one. There are a lot of things I'm really happy about at failing. There are a lot of pros to failing. I learned that just a couple months ago, honestly. I was really close to, and my fiance can tell you this, man, I was close to just giving up. Really close to just, you know what? I'll just take life for what it is right now. I'm good. It's okay. Work, come home, whatever. I'm cool. I'm not ready to get ridiculed again. I'm not ready to be embarrassed again, to fail again, to mess something up. Every time I was getting my fiance's hopes up. Like you get someone's hopes up and you're like, oh no, this is it. This time I'm gonna do it. Promise. I promise. This is it. This idea, I'm gonna kill it. I promise. And then you find out you're not gonna do shit. You're like, oh geez, really? Again? Alright, well, back to the drawing board. And then I went back, I started writing something else, and I did it again, and again, I messed up. And now I'm at a point where I feel like everything I messed up at, I'm taking all those things and I'm putting it into YouTube. And in a funny way, life falls into place, man. I just keep saying that because everything I learned is directly affecting my YouTube results. It's everything I've been through. Even I built websites for a couple. Wow, I don't even know how I got there, but I did it, and it's helping me so much with social media and SEO and tags, and it's just making sense now. It's so funny. Universe just plays tricks on you, man.
That's true. Talking about the universe, do you actually believe in law of attraction and manifestation?
Definitely, yeah. I'm the guy who I kind of cut it off at numbers and writing things down for 200 times, and like waking up and seeing like 1111 on your phone and be like, oh my God, it's gonna give me some money today. Like, oh, I don't know about that, but I definitely believe in, because I'm proof of that. I'm proof of when you really find what's inside you, what's truly inside you, and you offer that to the world, you put it out there, you keep putting that message out there, regardless of results or any negative feedback, or eventually the world around you will shape to the vision you have. I'm proof of that completely. Like I've always chased the wrong things. I chased proving people wrong. I chased money. I chased recognition. I chased acceptance. I chased love from my family. And this is the first time in my life where I just chased helping other people. Taking all these things that are inside me and just putting it out there for everyone. Free. I don't want your money. Don't even send me nothing on PayPal or whatever. It's out there. Take it. That's all I want. And I think eventually the world will reward that in some way, either in money or whatever. It's your gifts will come to you if you just keep on giving without expecting anything back. It will eventually reward you. I'm positive.
Definitely. I believe in that as well. Like if you give without expecting anything in return, that is when you get something back. And when you give and you expect something, then you will never get anything. It's always like that. So I truly believe in law of attraction too. So yeah, I'm actually.
Do you believe in the numbers though? The number things and the.
Yeah. Not really. I believe in, because I've just recently been doing this, like thinking that I'm already in that state, right? Whatever you wish for, health, wealth, love, whatever, just think of it, I am already in that state. And it just gives you, I know, it gives you a different feeling. It's like, it doesn't mean that obviously, when you say, okay, for instance, my goal with YouTube is to actually make like $5,000 a month, right? So each and every morning I say, I am grateful for receiving $5,000 per month with YouTube. And it doesn't mean that tomorrow it's gonna happen. No, I just believe like sending out the message and doing something, obviously, not just thinking about it. That does not work. Like you said, taking action and sending it out, that is when it comes eventually. The only thing what I think you can't really determine is the time. Like, that is a tricky thing, because I just think like when the universe thinks that you're ready, then it will come. So that is how I think about that. Although I do have like, okay, in 5 years, that is my limit. In 5 years I want to have that. But if it doesn't, I still believe in it. Keep on doing until I get it. So yeah, that is how I see it.
But do you know what, like, sorry, I'm curious, because I'm not invested into law of attraction, but I did watch some documentaries. I read one book, and I think it's just one thing always stuck with me, and it kind of confusing. It says to detach from the things you really desire, and but at the same time you have to kind of visualize it and believe you are that, or believe you already have that, or you already are that person. But I see all these law of attraction groups on Facebook. I follow them closely. I really get a lot of inspiration. The awesome groups like Blue Elephant and Law of Attraction, Life of Abundance, great pages. But the problem is that they promote detaching from things, not thinking about it, not doing anything, but just writing things down, or focusing on numbers or signs from I'm like, it's kind of confusing. Like, how do you expect, if you completely detach from something, which I understand, like, you don't want to be obsessive, you don't want to completely, but how can you not, like, you have to attach yourself to it, to really dedicate yourself to it. You have to work for it, I think.
I mean, if you just write it down, I don't think it will work. Like, that is, I don't believe in that. I really believe that you have to take action no matter what. But being in that state just kind of conditions you to be in that good mood, and whatever happens, because failures will come, but you still, because of this visualization, and because you're kind of manipulating the RAS, the reticular activating system, you're actually only searching for those opportunities. So whatever failures come, you'll see that as an opportunity, as an experience to learn something from it, rather than, oh, you know what, I give up, it's done for me, it's not what I'm meant to be. So I think this visualization is just to get your mind right, but you need to take action. So that is how I see it. Yeah, you can't you cannot just like sit there and write things down and boom, you're rich.
Yeah, I mean, I wish, right? But
yeah, I think everybody wishes.
it's awesome.
But just as every self-help thing, it's really toxic as well if it falls into the hands of the wrong people. Like these girls on these law of attraction, not even only girls, just guys as well, but they try to manifest their ex-lover back. Like, ooh, I don't know if this is like, now you're abusing the power, man. Watch out. You don't want to get in trouble. But I mean, it's tricky. It's tricky. I can imagine some people get lost into it. Yeah.
True. Now, yeah, talking about habits though, man, I mean, I think we are what we repeatedly do each and every day. And my question to you is, how do you actually get rid of those bad habits? What has helped you the most?
Well, I had a lot of bad habits. I still have one though, coffee. I sometimes drink a lot of coffee, sometimes not that much, but I do drink it every day, and I really want to get rid of it because I am a very energetic guy by myself, and coffee really just puts me in overdrive. But I kind of got used to it. But I feel like in some weird way, and I read something about people who have ADD and drink coffee just get a little bit more impulsive because of that complete derangement of energy. Like you have so much energy, you just kind of blurt out these weird things. You're like, oh, I should have thought about that. Or maybe you make some moves where you're kind of like regretting it. So coffee is really like, people underestimate coffee, to some people at least. And I used to smoke, and I used to smoke weed here and there. So pretty bad stuff, but honestly, Tony Robbins is spot on in this, where you don't change the habit, but you reward yourself for doing something else, because removing the habit is so hard, right? You can't just pull out smoking out of your life or quit cold turkey. It's impossible for some people, but you got to really find a positive replacement. You got to find something that's going to make you more happy than the smoking is doing. Like for some people it's their kids, or some people it's sports, or whatever, like their health. So there's always a time in your life where you're gonna get enough leverage to quit something. I mean, my dad quit smoking when he woke up bleeding, coughing. He was just completely messed up, and he quit that day. So it's like his leverage was his health. And I always believe that leverage eventually will present itself. It's vague, I know. It's kind of weird, maybe even new age, some hippie stuff. I don't like hippie stuff, but I truly believe in it, because I always quit the bad things in my life at the moment where I cared enough about the alternative, and to say that this is going to give me more value in my life than the other thing. Because when I moved from my house to living together with my fiance, I was like, let's quit smoking together. It's a new change, it's a new day, we're going to do it together. And we did it easy. That's the leverage we had, you know. So I think it's the same with smoking weed. One day I just woke up and I smoked a joint in the morning with my morning coffee. I was like, I'm done. This is too much. I don't value the person I'm becoming right now. I value my health more than what I'm becoming right now. So it's leverage, honestly. With every addiction, it's a breaking point. And sometimes people don't reach it at all. I know, I realize I might be addicted to coffee the rest of my life, but it's not that bad. But I do feel like I would help myself a lot if I would quit it.
No, definitely, man. Having the leverage, and that is also kind of very similar to why. Like, you know, if you know the why you want to quit, and even the leverage, for instance, with your dad, you know, coughing with blood and everything, the why was then, I don't want this anymore, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And so yeah, man. I just think like habits are like really important too, to have like good habits, you know, throughout your day, because that is when you do stuff automatically without thinking and they're good, your day is going to be awesome. But you know, it is challenging to get rid of those bad habits, and that's why leveraging it is definitely one of those things that you need to have. Now, talking about goals, you know, sometimes you set goals and then you're kind of in a dark rut, in a dark time. I always say it, in a rut. So what do you do in these times when nothing goes to your plan and you're like, man, I just want to give up, but you're not gonna give up, obviously. What has helped you the most to get out of that rut?
I get into the rut quite a few times a week, honestly. I watch too much Jay Shetty and I get pissed off. I hate that guy so much, but he's cool. I'm not hating him personally, but he's so handsome, man. He's making amazing content, and he got all the women. But whatever. I do get into a rut, like really, really bad ones. Like really feel like I don't know if I'm gonna upload today. But basically, holding myself accountable. The audience helps me with that a lot. Like, I know there's not thousands of people watching me, but the few people who watch me, I feel like I owe them a video. That's just the deal. They clicked on a button, they're supporting me, they like it, they're watching. I feel like that's the deal. I owe them that video, whatever it is, whatever quality it is. They just deserve a video because they're sticking with me, and they don't have to stick with me. There's so many alternatives just don't watch Jay Shetty. But all the other people are fine as well. There's an amazing group of people making my sorts of content. They're amazing, they're great, way better and way more evolved than I am, way better quality, that they should watch those guys, to be honest. But they're sticking with me for some reason, and I really appreciate that. So I feel like those guys deserve at least my commitment to my channel, and 10 times the dedication that they have. Because, I mean, if I'm not going to take them serious, if I'm not going to take my own channel serious and just skip a day or skip 2 days, like I can imagine people be like, okay, this guy said daily videos, he just skipped 2 days in a month. Like, it sounds small, but I would say like, that's not really, where's the dedication? Like, I mean, I signed up, well, what's the deal? You know, like I'm committing to this, to your journey. Like we're gonna get better together. You're not a great YouTuber right now. You're all right, but we're gonna get to that point together. I'll support you, and if I want that, I have to. People just take views for granted. Honestly, like people are on Reddit and talking about I have 50 views, 100 views. How do I get to 200? Dude, you got 100 views, man. Be happy you got 100 views. Jesus, there's a lot of people not having. I just saw a tweet that's from Roberto Blake, and he said that if you have 200 subscribers, you're in the top 7 million channels. You're already doing so much better than so many people on YouTube. And people don't even realize. They don't even have the perspective. You should, like, checking Social Blade helps me a lot too. Like just getting that perspective and connecting with people and just, talking to them, like that accountability to the audience, that's important. And even though people are not in your DMs or on your comments saying, dude, you gotta upload, man, I haven't seen you for 2 days. That's not gonna happen. We're small YouTubers, but at least you can feel that, right? Kinda, don't you feel it? When you can like maybe skip 2 weeks or something?
Yeah, no, I do feel it. I just think YouTube as a platform where I just showcase my talents and just my sharing my message with the people, and it's like, it's kind of like a TV show, and when you just skip your usual schedule, then it's a bit off, and like you said, if you do YouTube, you should be committed to it because it is important, right? I mean, there's a reason why you started at the first place, and for us self-development people, we want to help people, right? And so, yeah, like you said, we all have our unique voices and stuff. And the reason why people are following you, bro, is because, you have your way of conveying your message that people resonate with. And so that's why we're all like helping together, growing together. And that's why I love connecting with all of you people, because eventually I'm going to actually release a video tomorrow, recommending my people to all of the people that I've interviewed, because I find you guys freaking awesome, and that is what I love to do. And because I can't help everyone. You can't help everyone. Nobody can. And this way, so yeah. Again, man, yeah. Like I said, man, you are my favorite life coach.
There you go. That's all I want to be. I mean, I always tell them I'm not the best life coach. I'm not the smartest life coach, but I'm your favorite life coach. I hope I'm at least that, because I know I don't got the degree. I don't went to school. I don't have all the diagnosis. I can't tell you what's wrong with you. I can just hope to make you laugh and hope to give you some insight, tell you about myself. That's all I can do.
Yeah, man, doing your best. That is what matters, man. Yeah, so now talking about books, bro, do you actually read books concerning mindset? And if you do, then tell me your favorite book concerning that.
Way less than I should. Like I honestly, I'm at a point right now that I have to account for every hour of my day. Like right after this podcast, I'm gonna film my own video, then I'm gonna edit, then I'm gonna upload. I think it's gonna be 1 or 2 a.m. Then tomorrow, gotta work. So it's a pretty crazy schedule. So reading is tough, but I'm almost done with Tony Robbins' book, Awaken the Giant. It's an amazing book. I would recommend everyone. I don't care what your issue is, read it. It will help you in some way. And it's also, funny thing is, the first book I bought about self-help, but I just never got to it because it was so thick. I was like, I'm never gonna get through that. This is just too much, man. I'm just not a great reader. I'm a great watcher. I could watch Cosmos like from the beginning to end, and I'll know everything that's happened. I won't get on my phone once. I'm a good, like.
You should listen to it, Audible.
Yeah, I listen to podcasts. Like my friends always told me, you listen to 3.5 hours of Joe Rogan. I'm like, yeah, I do that. Even with people I don't know. I just love communications between people and talking and dynamics and discussions. I love that. I mean, I thrive off that. I listen to podcasts in my car on the way to home, to work, to every chance I get. So I should read a lot more. But I'm gonna get into Robin Sharma got a book, the 5 a.m. Whatever. I don't like the title. I don't like pushing habits on people, either positive or negative. I'm not the type of guy to say, wake up at 5 a.m. or meditate, or read a book, or I don't like to push a certain agenda to people. Like, you have to figure out your own way. But I am interested in what he has to say.
Yeah, definitely. Always be open-minded to what people say. But like you said, there are a lot of videos about, like, wake up at 4:30 a.m. or 5 a.m. and your day is gonna be great. To be honest, it's nonsense in my opinion, because we are all different, and so you gotta see what works for you best, right? If you're not a morning person and you do that, right, it's about like getting enough sleep, right? And everyone is like in a different situation. You don't know how the working situation is like, and a lot of things get into that, but the main point is that you got to be happy, right? And what energizes you, right? Specifically you.
Like, it's possible for me. I understand it might be good for whatever health reasons, all right. But my upload schedule is midnight for, that's when I want to drop my videos. And also I get creative at night. I don't get creative in the mornings. I don't get creative before 4 or 5 p.m. at all. Like my fiance always tells me, like, you have the entire day. Like, why don't you film a video? I'm like, I can't. It's just, it comes to me at 8 or 9 p.m. That's just the way it is. Like, all of a sudden, okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Get the camera, and I just go. I always been like that. I always been a night worker. I always worked in events, hosting, promoting events, and I work until 4, 5, 6 a.m. Just my flow. Like, as a young baby, I was always a bad sleeper. So it's just the way I am. And when I hear these people not only saying wake up at 4:30, but also saying Bill Gates does it, well, this Mark Zuckerberg or whatever does it, Tesla man with the electric car guy does it, well, that's fine. But these guys are already got billions and trillions of dollars in the bank. Did they do it when they were 24? I don't think so. Like, these guys were crazy, wilding. They had so much money. There was young guys with a lot of money, did some crazy stuff. Like, they all been through their own process. They probably had really, really unhealthy schedules in their life. Really unhealthy, wrong habits that they know they're wrong, but they were young, they were learning, they were through the process. And you cannot force any habits on anyone. Like, I got so many young kids where I feel like, you're 19, you shouldn't smoke. But I'm not going to tell you you shouldn't smoke. It's your process. You'll figure it out. And if you keep smoking, then, keep smoking. Like, whatever. That's your process. I'm not going to mess with that. So I get upset when I read these guys saying, not only wake up at 4 a.m., but, hey, bro, if you want to be Bill Gates, you got to wake up. Like, bro, come on. I know billionaire cryptocurrency guys, Asian guys in Australia, and they're all my friends. I love them. They don't ever wake up at 4 a.m. They wake up at like 2 p.m., check their Bitcoin shit, whatever. They go play some poker, go drink, do drugs and whatever. But they're rich. Like, you would say they're successful, right? But that's the way they structured their own life. I respect that. They seem happy. I don't know if they are, but they seem so. You got to respect everyone's habits, man.
No, totally, man. I like I said, like this is one thing that I really want to convey on my channel is being mindful and self-aware. Like really know what fits you. Like you are unique, and that is it, right? So you gotta just figure out what works best for you. And to be honest, I'm going to admit it. Like at the beginning, like 3-4 years ago, I thought like, oh, these videos with waking up at 5 a.m. I gotta do that if I want to be successful and stuff. I believed in that, you know. And so, but now that I'm getting older, I'm like, you know, everyone is unique, everyone is different, you know. And so you just gotta really be mindful and see what works for you. Now, before we get to the last question, brother, and I really appreciate like your authenticity and honesty, bro. Like one of the most authentic interviews here. So really appreciate that. So tell my people how they can connect with you further.
Well, obviously YouTube, your favorite life coach. Click that subscribe button, hit that bell because I upload every single day. We're on Instagram, Coach Bahman, your favorite life coach. I try to be active on there, but I gotta think about my mental health sometimes. Social media is killing me. I turned off all notifications because I just go nuts when I get a buzz or, you know. So I try to keep it up. Twitter, Coach Bahman. I love Twitter because I can honestly, it's the only place I can really put my thoughts out without editing and cutting. And, you know, Instagram gotta be pretty pictures and colors and filters. Just Twitter is just whatever I'm thinking at that time. So I love that. If you guys connect with me on there, go ahead. I would say Facebook, but I hate Facebook. I don't like it. I'm not getting any traction. I do like connecting with these groups on Facebook. So I mean, if you join these groups, we can talk. You can like my shitty Facebook page, but I mean, I'm not getting any traction on there. I feel like it's a social media that's completely run by ads, and like I have 100 likes and I reach like 5 people when I post something. So I'm like, whatever. I'm not even gonna bother. And I think that's it. I got a Tumblr, your favorite life coach, getting that just started up, so you could check me out on there as well. And I'm on Reddit all day because I love people on Reddit. They're crazy, but I love them. They're really passionate. They're really yeah, they're crazy, but they're committed. You know, they're really committed to their opinion and to their vision. If they feel your video is shitty, they will definitely tell you. And I'll be like, all right, maybe, yeah, you got a point. And I sometimes learn a lot from these guys. So there's really some awesome people there. And I think that's it, man. I don't do, I wish I had a website. I'm working on that. But I feel like everything has to come for a reason. And I don't feel like there's a reason to build a website. So I'm like, I'm not going to put no resources or time to it or whatever.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So now we come to the last question. As you know, my channel is all about mastering your mind to gain self-confidence. So what is that one activity, one revelation that has helped you the most in mastering your mind to gain self-confidence?
All right, let me think about this, man. I'm going to give the people something good. One activity, one thing. I think, to me, it's perspective. And by perspective, I mean, it's easy to get lost in the moment when you're suffering from, you know, confidence, which I have big troubles with, big time, every day. I do really well when I get into perspective, like how long am I even trying something? How long have other people been trying to be good at something? And I see other YouTubers being on it for 8 years, and I've seen other creators being on it for 10 years. Gary Vee been on YouTube for almost 15 years. So perspective is so important, I feel like. And gratefulness is also key. Really key. Within that perspective, you gotta be grateful for every single piece of feedback you're getting. Love, hate, likes, comments, views, whatever opinion, whatever comes back at you. Always gratefulness first. And then think about whatever you gotta, you know, adjust your course or go whatever you wanna go. But you gotta be thankful first for every single thing, because you're at a place right now that you would have not been yesterday if you would have quit, you know? So if you keep realizing that, put things in perspective and be grateful, I think that's at least what's helped me a lot. But just realize it's gonna be a struggle, because we, and I mean by you as well, we chose this path. We chose this path to be vulnerable, to open ourselves up, and to dig into ourselves, and to really try to be better people every single day. We chose to break the matrix, so to speak, like break off from the system and just really find our top potential in life. And that's hard, because you have to face the past. You have to face certain things in life that you kind of don't want to face. You're not dealing with it. Some people drink it away, smoke it away. Some people just work until they're 35 and hit a burnout and a midlife crisis. And we're trying to be happy every single day in our life. And that takes courage. That takes bravery. Like, I would like to end on a quote that let me pull that up, because I think that's something that every time when I think about it, your past is like pieces of a broken mirror. You try to pick them up, but you only end up cutting yourself. That's something I always love to end on, because that's from a video game, Max Payne 2, which is an amazing quote, and it hit me deep, and it hits me deep every single time, because it's really, really true. When you dwell on it, it keeps cutting you. It doesn't stop. You just gotta let it lay there.
Wow, that is a powerful quote, man. Holy cow. I just got goosebumps just by listening to that, man. Honestly.
It's pretty strong.
Wow, yeah, man. God damn. Okay, wow. Again, man, thank you so damn much for being here, man. Like I said, man, this was one of the most authentic and honest interviews so far. You know, you told us about your story and what you're saying, like things that you're still struggling with. You know, you didn't come on this interview and say, yo, Winnie, listen up here, I'm the most confident person, you know. No, like,
No way.
yeah,
No way.
you're like, you know, totally honest with everything, and thank you so much for being so honest. So guys, I really hope you did enjoy this interview, and check him out. You know, the link is in the description. Also, tell me, for those of you who are listening and watching this, what was your favorite advice from Bahman, your favorite life coach? For me, it was definitely perspective that he told us at the very end, and also the quote. That is amazing. God damn, that still touches me. Anyway, guys, remember that you are freaking awesome, and that you can do it if you put your mind to it. Winnie out for now.